everybody? Cinema Sickness here with your daily sickness video, and happy Monday to each and every one of you. And as always, hope you guys are having a great day, great week thus far, and hope your weekend was awesome. So, alright, let's get down to today's daily sickness video, and we got some reviews for you guys. Yes, it's that time of the week. Gotta get through these, watch a lot of great titles recently, and I'm just going to give you my very quick thoughts on each of them. So, here we go. Alright, first up, the first movie I checked out was Perks of Being a Wallflower, a movie I've been wanting to check out for some time now because I've heard such great things about this. In fact, my wife recommended this movie to me, and that's why I originally picked it up. And kind of the first thing I said to my wife after watching this was, wow, thanks for recommending this movie. That was insanely depressing. Very, very depressing movie, but very interesting movie, very enjoyable movie. The characters did somewhat bother me a little bit, but at the same time, I kind of thought back to my days of high school and whatnot, and thought back to the way I acted. And yeah, I mean, there were certainly times where I, tried to act cool and tried to, put on a show basically, which these kids really seem to be doing a lot in this movie, where they just seem like they're trying way too hard and trying to be trendy and trying to be hip, trying to be cool, trying to be the outcast as opposed to just like being an outcast. But at the same time, I thought back to my days. I'm like, yeah, that was probably me and my friends at the time. So I really enjoyed the hell of this movie. But like I said, extremely depressing. So be prepared for that, but otherwise a decent movie. Definitely has a lot of great dramatic moments in it, but a lot of great moments in it. It's gonna make you angry, gonna make you cry, gonna make you just have a kind of a crappy feeling at the end of it, but in the end, a great watch that I would recommend. I'm sure all of you would recommend it as well. Like I said, I've heard great things about this movie. It did very well. Many people seem to enjoy this film, and I guess they know what they're talking about. So, Perks of Being a Wallflower, definitely enjoyed it. I would recommend it. I would say the only the one thing that really bugged me in it is the fact that these kids are supposed to have this like great knowledge of music and listening to all these bands, bands that aren't trendy at the time, which is funny because I think back to when I was in high school, and yeah, we listened to all the older bands and bands that weren't necessarily trendy at the time, but it wasn't cool and hip. It was just it was good music, so we listened to it. Whereas I feel like these kids are just trying to be cool and hip, but when they play the song, the tunnel song as they keep calling it, they don't know what it is, and they don't know it's a David Bowie song, a very popular David Bowie song. I won't give it away, but I'm like, really? You're supposed to know all these, like, you're supposed to be, be into this hip, cool music and know all this stuff, and an extremely popular, very well-known David Bowie song comes on. You're like, I don't know what this song is. And the whole movie they're talking about trying to find the tunnel song, and I'm like, they should have went with something else. I really think they should have picked a different song, something that maybe would have been more obscure, something that maybe a decent amount of people would have gone, I don't know what that song is. Not something that's like, I guarantee you 90% of the people who've seen this movie are like, I know what song that is. Like, I don't know, but still, nevertheless, like I said, it was a great watch. Definitely recommend checking it out, and remind me of some of being in high school, and even their love for the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which, again, back in high school, me and my buddies, we all loved Rocky Horror, so just again, reminds me of being in high school, and depressing, but a good watch. Alright, so then next up was The Good Dinosaur. Love me some Disney Pixar. And I went into this one hearing that, it was good, but hearing it was a little bit different, and I would definitely agree with that. I wouldn't say it's like Brave different. I always say Brave is my least favorite of the Disney Pixar movies because I just feel it doesn't have that Disney Pixar feel, that the heart of Disney Pixar movies. It just it feels like it could have been from DreamWorks or from Warner Brothers, or anybody else. It feels like it wasn't necessarily a Disney Pixar movie, which is why the first time I ever watched Brave, I just thought it was a straight Disney movie until I looked at the cover art and I was like, wait, this is Disney Pixar? I just couldn't believe it. So I wouldn't say it's like that. So some of my friends were comparing it to Brave, and I would definitely say no. Whereas Brave did not feel like a Disney Pixar movie, this definitely felt like a Disney Pixar movie, but it did have a bit of a different feel to it. It felt a little bit different from all the other Disney Pixar movies you may have seen. It had its own sort of thing going on, but yet at the same time kept that Disney Pixar feel, kept the heart of Disney Pixar movies, and felt like it fit in with the Disney Pixar films. It didn't stray too much like I feel a Brave did. So I enjoyed it. Very well done. An absolutely fantastic story. Again, Great heartfelt moments, might make you tear up a few times. I know I certainly did a few times in the movie, but absolutely fantastic. And the computer animation, oh my god, CGI is getting so insanely good. My wife and I, we were watching this together, and just when they were showing the water, we were like, is that real water? Like, we did they film real water and put it into the sea? Like, it just looks so real. There were scenes of like mountains with trees and stuff, and it looked like they were really shooting real tree. I mean, it's amazing how far they come along. But I gotta say, one thing I really liked is they went with really realistic looking backgrounds and scenery and all that stuff. It was really realistic, but they kept the characters very cartoonish, and I love that. It was a very great, like, conflicting feel, and I thought it made the characters stand out a lot, and it really did work, separating the characters from, like, the scenery. It really worked. So fantastic story. I love the kind of twist, the whole idea of sort of what if the comet that wiped the dinosaurs out missed. How would the dinosaurs have evolved and grown into human beings coming along? And it's very interesting. Great movie. Again, funny, heartfelt, great Disney Pixar film. If you're a fan of Disney Pixar, don't miss The Good Dinosaur. You'll love it. Then I checked out Sleepwalk With Me, which I was really interested in seeing because Mike Barbiglia, he is on a local radio show that I listen to a lot. He's on there a bunch, just as a guest, comes on as a guest and tells his stories and does what he does. And I didn't really know much about the guy other than what I've heard from him on the radio station. So really looking forward to watching this because this is basically based on a true story, which is crazy because this story is nuts. He suffers from sleepwalking, but to the point where he doesn't just walk around. He actually acts out what he's doing and hurts himself. Everything from jumping out a window, and he's trying to kind of find love, and he's with this girl, but he's not ready to settle down. He loves the girl and everything like that, but getting married, having a kid, just not really his thing. He wants to be with this girl, but he doesn't want that. And he's kind of forcing himself into this because he doesn't want to hurt her. And she's kind of forcing herself into it too because even though she knows this guy isn't really Mr. Right, she doesn't want to hurt him either. And you have that going on, and he's just becoming an upcoming a comedian. He was kind of a nobody, and then starts to pick up a little bit of steam, and he's loving the idea of traveling. He doesn't really want to be at home and settle down. He wants to be on the road traveling, doing this because it's what he loves to be doing, and he has this crazy family who's hassling him. So, interesting movie, has some great funny moments into it. It's just great. It's just great story of his life and this period in his life and the craziness that happened. So I guess I'm sure it made for some great stand-up, but at the same time also made for a really fantastic movie. So check it out. Definitely an interesting one. Kind of a great indie feel and great movie. Really recommend that one. All right, next up was The Last Witch Hunter, which, no, unfortunately, I did not watch in 4K. Just watched in standard 1080s. Standard 1080. I love saying that now. It's like you can't even, used to be like, oh, I watched in just standard, standard definition. And then it was like, oh, but I watched this in Blu-ray. Now it's like, oh, just standard high definition. Funny that you can say that nowadays. So, The Last Witch Hunter. I heard this wasn't all that good of a movie, and yeah, I kind of agree. It wasn't a bad film. It just wasn't a great film either. I found it very mediocre. Vin Diesel is Vin Diesel. I would never say Vin Diesel is a great actor. Say what you will. If you like him, that's awesome. As an action star, he's fun. I don't dislike Vin Diesel, but when he acts, he's basically like, hello, I'm acting. It feels very forced, and it is typical Vin Diesel. So, you know what you're getting yourself into when you're watching a Vin Diesel movie. You're not expecting top-notch acting, so if you are, you're not going to get that, and I don't know why you would expect that. It's an interesting story, though, of him being back. I guess I'm trying to think when this originally took place. I suppose he was some kind of he looked like he was dressed like a Viking, so I don't know, whenever this took place. Many years ago, and he was a witch hunter. This group goes out to kill this witch who set this plague upon the earth, and he ends up getting cursed with eternal life because his family has already died, and he's hurting from that. And the witch, before he kills her, knows that he's hurting, and to get her revenge, basically says eternal life on you. But you find this whole twist of what she actually did, and kind of interesting, and he's lived all these years into the modern age now, where he hasn't aged, or and he can't die, and he's still a witch hunter. He's still hunting witches, and at this point, witches have kind of come to live with like the church, and the witches have all kind of said this kind of truth, word, like truth. Is that what I'm looking for? Truth. I can't pronounce that word. They're agreeing. They're getting along with each other. But he's still hunting bad witches, because there are also witches out there who do bad things. And again, you find this whole twist out of what of what the witch did to Vin Diesel, and sort of how she's going to come back. And the one major downfall is that you really see there is a twist. Which I don't want to give it away, but you see it coming. Let's just say Elijah Wood is also in this movie, and the twist that comes with him. If you don't see it coming, you need to watch more movies, because it was, as soon as he shows up, you're like, and there's the twist. Like, you knew it was gonna happen. You saw it coming. Especially when he like just disappears for like most of the movie. Like, he pops into the movie, and you're like, oh, Elijah Wood's in the movie now, and then like he just kind of goes away, and you just don't see him until like his twist comes around. You're like, okay. But regardless, it was a decent movie. I'm not going to say it was horrible. It's definitely one of those films I would say, if you want to see it, check it out. If it seems like it's your type of thing, if you saw this trailers for this, if you looked at this movie and said, I think I want to watch this, then it's probably your thing. Check it out. It wasn't horrible. I enjoyed it. It kept me entertained. Will I ever watch it again? Probably when I get a 4K TV and Blu-ray player. I'll probably pop this back in and watch it in 4K. Otherwise, it's not something I really need to see ever again. It was just kind of alright. It was mediocre. It was just, again, worth checking out if it's something you want to see. So, interesting movie, but not the greatest movie in the world or anything like that. Next up was Touchy Feely. And get another okay movie. It just kind of didn't really go anywhere. It's one of those dysfunctional family movies where, you got this family, they got some issues, and just the kind of wackiness, like depressing wackiness that ensues with all their issues. They're not really, it's not one of those dysfunctional families where like they hate each other or anything like that, but they have their issues. They all have like quirky moments, and again, just kind of doesn't really go anywhere, in my opinion. But is it worth checking out? It was a good watch. I did enjoy the story. It just, again, didn't really amount to anything. I would say if you're a fan of like that, independent films, if that's your thing, if you like that type of independent film feeling, then watch it. It definitely has that. It's kind of artsy, independent, but again, it just kind of didn't really go much in the direction of anywhere. So it was okay. Touchy Feely, all right movie, not the greatest movie. Again, just see if you want to see it. I don't really have. It's one of those movies where I'm like, I don't really have anything to say about this movie. At the end of it, I just kind of went, all right. I watched that. Like, I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't enthralled. I was just kind of like, I saw it. All right, what am I going to watch next? And what I watched next was Lower Learning, which was not so hot. Kind of disappointed in this one. It has a great cast. I was pretty intrigued by that. The cast of this movie is fantastic. So many great comedians and great great comedic actors. And I went into it thinking, wow, great cast. This might be good. Not really. With a cast as good as it has, I felt it should have been something more. It just fell really flat. It's about this school who not doing so well, and our principal here, he's embezzling money, and he wants the school to go under because he can get all this money if the school gets shut down. And we have our one teacher here who wants to save this school, and the lady who's going to shut the school down decides to team up against the principal, and it just fell flat. The jokes, maybe a laugh here or there. It just didn't amount to anything. That was my problem. It just was like, oh, I get it. It just left me with that sort of feeling at the end, where it just didn't become anything. And the climax, and it's building up to the teachers who want to save the school against the teachers who want the school to go under, and it felt really low budget as well, which again, it's an independent film, so I'm sure it was very low budget. But it just, even looking at the film, you could tell there wasn't a lot of money put into this. I would say the main thing would be the playground at the school. There's like, they laid out some like green mat and puts like a slide, and I think there was like a slide and maybe some swings and like a jungle gym, and they were all just like it was just tires with concrete poured into it, with the posts like put into that. They weren't even put into the ground. It was like, and they were all like right next to each other. So when they filmed from above, they didn't have to like do a huge like wide shot. They could do more closer shots, and it just felt really kind of low budget. So no, you don't need to see this one, even with the great cast. It has, and the funny moments that could have been, and again, there were some funny moments. It just doesn't amount to anything. It falls flat. It's just a comedy that just doesn't go anywhere, or really become funny, or really amount to anything, or really has any meaning behind it. And the story was just very mediocre. I'd actually say stay away from this one. Not really worth checking out, in my opinion. Next up, Pompeii, which I had heard really bad things about. And I guess I can kind of see why, but in the end, I thought it was a decent movie. It did kind of felt like a, poor man's Gladiator or something like that. It's this guy who kind of gets forced into becoming a gladiator, and he falls in love with this girl who, of course, is to be married to the emperor, and yeah, obviously things are gonna go bad from there. It had some decent bad. I thought it was decent. I mean, I liked the scene. I mean, I watched this in 3D. I thought the 3D was nice. All the CGI, the colors, everything popped out. It looked like a good movie. And honestly, the plot was not bad. It was enjoyable. I liked it. It's just, I think it wasn't super epic. It didn't amount to this big, epic, amazing film. Kind of a story we've sort of seen before. And in the end, I guess I can see why it might fall flat for some, but I still enjoyed it. Even though I wouldn't say it's this fantastic, amazing, epic movie that everybody needs to go out and watch, I would say that it still was enjoyable. The plot was good, the acting was good, the story was good, and all in all, it was a good movie. So I would say if Pompeii is something you want to see, check it out. Even though I've heard a lot of bad things about it, I'd have to say I disagree with them. It is worth seeing. It is worth checking out. See this one. You'll probably enjoy it to at least some extent. If you're anything like me, you'll like this one. All right, next up, Amy, and this is one I would going to check out. In fact, this just won an award, right? So I really wanted to see it for that. And I had also heard that Amy's father was really against the film and thought it portrayed her badly and stuff like that. Of course, in watching the film, you quickly realize that I don't think the father really doesn't like this film because of the way it portrays his daughter. I don't think he likes it because of the way it portrays him, because it doesn't portray him very good. It really makes it out to be, and I don't know if it's true or not, but it really makes it out to seem like he just, screw all your problems you have. Let's just make money off you. You're a star now. You're making money. I'm making some money off this as well. Who cares if you need help? You got obligations to put on shows, and you need to do this, and you need to do, yeah. It didn't portray the father very well at all. She goes away on vacation to kind of clear her head and get away from all the mess she's in. And what's the father do? Brings a camera crew with him. It's just, yeah. So I think when it comes down to it, he doesn't like it more or less because the way it portrays him, not so much his daughter. Because I didn't think it really portrayed Amy Winehouse all that badly. It really shows that she really, she went down some wrong paths, but she would kind of pick herself back up a lot. It's not, you could tell she didn't, it's not like she really wanted to be messed up and have these issues. I really think she wanted help. She wanted to get better, because so much of this movie, she starts doing bad things, but then she kind of cleans herself back and things are going good, but then she relapses a bit, and then she kind of gets herself back going, and it's just a constant up and down struggle with her. And you can kind of tell that she was a good person, and didn't necessarily want to be going down the road she was going down. But of course, after you initially go down the road of drugs, it's kind of hard to get off that road. Even if you do kind of clean yourself back up, you find yourself getting right back on the road. Again, it's very difficult, and I can understand that. I mean, I have my own opinions about why people would even do drugs to begin with, but and just how that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But still, you could kind of tell that she was a good person and didn't want to be doing the drugs, and wanted to get herself cleaned up and wanted to just do her own thing. I think that was also part of the problem, is that she also fell into that slump of becoming this big star, and it wasn't necessarily what she wanted. The paparazzi was constantly hounding her, and everybody was constantly wanted to be around her and know what she was doing and talking about her all the time. When's your next album going to come out, stuff like that. And it wasn't really her. She wasn't really that kind of artist. She kind of just wanted to do her thing. I'll write songs as I write them. I'll put out albums as I put them out. I don't care if people forget who I am. I don't need to constantly crank out albums so I'm fresh in everybody's memory. That's not what she wanted to be, and not who she wanted to be. She was, I guess in a sense, a true artist, where she just, you can't force arts, basically. I never, well, I did sing. I was in a band. There you go. So I was in a band back in high school. I was in a punk rock band, lead singer, the guitarist. All during high school, I painted and sculpted and all that stuff. I went to school for photography, so I certainly know what it's like. You have to be inspired to do to do your art. You have to be inspired. You have to be wanting to do it. You have to be willing to do it. You can't be forced to do it. And that's kind of what, I always had that problem with college, when I'd be taking whatever photography class, and you'd be like, oh, here's your assignment. And it's like, I understand this is my assignment. I understand it's it's teaching me how to shoot this. But at the same time, it's like, but photography is an art, and I don't have any interest in shooting what I'm shooting. Like, oh, shoot the still life. I don't want to shoot a still life. Like, that's not what I'm into. That's not what I'm interested in. And my work reflected it. Like, I didn't, there was no passion behind my photographs when I was shooting something that I had no interest in shooting. I really liked shooting people. I was really into shooting fashion for a while, and then I just got into kind of doing my own thing. So I loved shooting people. And again, my work reflected. I shot great photos when I was photographing, people out and about and stuff like that. I love shooting, like, on location. I hated shooting in a studio. I like going to like some grungy alley and shooting in there. I loved that. I loved the raw feel, that kind of stuff. So so I can understand where she was coming from, in the sense that everybody wanted her to, put out a new album, put this out, music, and that's not how she worked. And I totally felt where she was coming from with struggling with that. And I also, it really pissed me off with paparazzi. I've never liked the paparazzi. I've never understood how paparazzi is legal. It just, I read up on it actually after I watched this. And basically the way it kind of seems to work with the laws is, if you're like a famous person, paparazzi is allowed to, legally just allowed to stalk you. If you're just like some nobody, they can't do it. But if you're if you're like a public figure, they can do it. I guess it's like some, freedom of press type of thing. I still think it's should be considered stalking, and I don't think that should be allowed at all. I think if you're the press and you want photos of somebody, you should need to be like invited or pay them or something like that. It's pretty messed up, in my opinion, the laws of paparazzi. I really think that all the famous people out there should just ban up and just start gunning down paparazzi. What are they going to do? Arrest every famous person? No. Come on, people, do it. Start getting rid of these people. These people are a-holes. They're horrible people. You can even see in this movie, the things they say to her, they're mocking her, and as they're taking pictures, they're basically egging her on to do something, take a swing or flip them off or curse at them or do something they can get on film or it's wow, what, horrible, nasty, evil people. And I want to see just famous people just go off, just so anyway, I totally felt bad, because I felt like the paparazzi was also hurting her as well, because she just kind of wanted to be left alone, and they wouldn't do it, and I felt like that really helped fuel her on with her drugs and stuff too. So anyway, I thought this was a really well done movie, deserving of the award it won, and again, absolutely fantastic. I learned a lot about Amy Winehouse that I did not know. I did not know much about her. I always knew, she was, she got famous, and then she got on drugs and died. That's always that's what I knew about her. I didn't know about all the ups and downs. I didn't even know about how she did die. I always thought it was just straight up drug overdose. I didn't realize she just died from drinking, which I guess technically you say overdose, but it's the way she died, with like the drugs kind of like seemed like I guess they were like causing her issues with her heart, and or drinking on top of that wasn't good. But at the time, she was kind of like cleaning herself up. So I didn't really know all that. So I learned a lot about Amy Winehouse. So I would recommend this. It was a great documentary, whether you're a fan of Amy Winehouse or not. Very well done documentary. Definitely worth checking out. Okay, so yeah, I spent a long time talking about that. So then I watched something pretty cool. First off, let me just say, I do not have a Netflix account. I posted that I was watching this, and I also posted that it was my first ever Netflix binge watch, because I know a lot of people will sit down and watch just marathon straight through a complete season of a show. I've never done that before. I did it with this show. So no, I do not have a Netflix account. Everybody's like, oh, I thought you don't like Netflix. You're going to get, now you have a Netflix account where you're going to start watching stuff on Netflix. No, I am not. I borrowed my father-in-law's Netflix account. He has a Netflix account. I got his password and his email address because I wanted to watch this. He was nice enough to say, yeah, sure, here's my information, log on. So, I watched it. I don't have any plans on really doing that ever again, not until the Gilmore Girls miniseries comes out. That I will probably also watch as well. But in the end, I'm not really all that interested in watching stuff like right when it comes out. And everybody's like, oh, Daredevil, it's so fantastic. They just binge watch it. I'll get the DVDs or the Blu-rays. I'll wait till the series comes out. I don't need to watch it right away. I rarely ever feel that way about movies and TV shows, that I need to see them immediately. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of movies and TV shows that I can watch. I don't need to watch the stuff right when it comes out. I can wait. So, no, I don't have a Netflix account. I don't need a Netflix account. I don't plan on watching stuff on Netflix. And even if I do watch something on Netflix, I'm still going to buy a physical copy of it eventually, just like with this. And I watched season 1 of Fuller House. I had to watch Fuller House. I am a huge Full House fan. All-time favorite sitcom ever. I think this show is brilliant. I grew up on it. It's fantastic. And for me, sitcoms will never get better than Full House. I love the show with a passion. I used to date this girl back in high school who also felt the same way. We would always, on like road trips and stuff, we would always quiz each other. We'd have Full House like trivia quizzes. It was so much fun. I loved it. It was absolutely awesome. So again, big fan. So of course when they were bringing the show back, I was like, I have to see this. Word of advice, watch past the first episode. If you watch it, do not watch the first episode and go, oh God, and then just not get past it. No. The first episode isn't very good. It's kind of, it's very cheesy. All it is like 30 minutes of winks and nods to the original series. It's constant references and jokes and just, hey, remember the original show? Remember the original show? That's all it is the entire time. It sets up the story of the new series, but it's just constant winks and nods to the audience, which I assume they were going to do, but not every line. Like every line out of their mouth is just like a wink and nod to the audience, to the original series, and that kind of bugged me a little bit. I also felt that maybe I don't know, because it was Netflix. There was some of it was a little bit low budget. Like one of the things that bugged me the most about this is they do this thing where they play like the original intro, and they show like side by side like Jesse, I think like he's like playing his guitar, and like Joey's in the park and he's like talking and stuff like that, and they basically reenact it. They're doing the same thing. Again, Jesse's playing his guitar, Joey's talking. All those scenes they reenact them. It's just like parts of it that were shot out on location in a park. They're shooting like on a back, on a studio, and you could tell it's like fake trees, fake background, and it looks really cheesy. I'm like, you couldn't just go to a park. You could have gone to like any park or anywhere and shot that. It didn't have to be the same exact area. Like you could have really pretty much probably gone anywhere, and they didn't do that. That really bugged me. So first episode, take it with a grain of salt. Be prepared. It's cheesy. It's not the best first episode. But episode 2 and on, it gets so much better. I thought the show was great. Yes, it's cheesy. It's ridiculous. It's not going to be for everybody. This show, in my opinion, is really for people who grew up on Full House. If you are a big Full House fan, you're probably going to really enjoy this show because it has that feeling. There are winks and nods, there are throwbacks, but not to the point where it's cheesy. To the point where it's a lot of fun, and I really like the direction it's going. I love the story. I mean, I really like learning about the story of DJ and her, Steve's coming back into the picture, and she likes Steve, but there's this veterinarian that like she works with, because DJ's a veterinarian now, who she works with and ends up running a business with, and they have a thing going on. So there's this big love triangle. That's great. Kimmy Gibbler and her ex-husband, they're kind of still trying to get back together. That's interesting, and how all the people move back into the house, because not everybody moves back in the house. I wasn't sure how that was going to happen. I didn't really know much about the series going into it. I was like, does everybody still live in this house? No, it's a different dynamic, but I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. I really did enjoy season 1 of Fuller House, and I'm already excited for season 2 because season 2 is greenlit. Very excited for that to come. I can't wait, and I thought it was fantastic. And yeah, since everybody else is talking about it, I guess I'll mention it. Oh my God, Stephanie, yeah, Jodie Sweetin got really attractive, and she shows it off in the first episode. So yeah, if you think Jodie Sweetin is attractive, the first episode. It may be cheesy, maybe ridiculous, but she wears an outfit in that's wow. So, but the funniest joke, in my opinion, the funniest joke of the entire season, the entire series thus far, is the fact that Stephanie is a DJ, and she goes by the name DJ Tanner. I thought that was just amazing. I was like, I don't know, it's such an easy joke, but it was so funny. I don't know why. I loved it. And of course they have this thing where DJ's pissed off because Stephanie, is going by DJ Tanner, but there already is a DJ Tanner. So I thought that was pretty funny. I love that joke. So yeah, Full House, I would say it's not going to be for everybody. If you never watched Full House, then no, you probably don't want to watch this. It's not going to be your thing. Watch Full House first. Watch the entire series first, and then watch this. It's not something to just get into if you don't know all the backstory and you don't know the original series. But if you are like me and you're a huge Full House fan, if you grew up with it, if you're passionate for it, if you love Full House, then watch Fuller House. It's really enjoyable. I loved it. Bring on season 2. I can't wait. Okay, and then last up here, I went to the theaters and I went and saw London Has Fallen. Now I was supposed to see Zootopia, but I've learned a valuable lesson, and that is do not trust Fandango movie times. I looked up like 2 days ahead when a movie would be playing on Saturday, and got to the theater. Those times had changed. So I guess if you're not looking up that actual day, you might be a little screwed. So got to the theater with my friends who I was taking to movies for her birthday, and we really wanted to see Zootopia. And she got there, and I'm like, sorry, it's not playing. Fandango lied to me, so what do you want to see? So she's actually into action movies, and wanted to see London Has Fallen. So checked it out and thought it was a great sequel. It's cheesy. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. And that's kind of why it's fun. Some people left comments saying like, oh, I don't know, the trailers look pretty cheesy. It looked very cliche. Yep, exactly. It's a cliche action movie. And if that's not your thing, you're not going to enjoy it. But if you're like me and you love that kind of stuff, if you just like a cheeseball action movie, where bullets are flying, everybody who shoots a bullet shooting like a trace around, and the good guy like never gets shot, even though he's like jumping right through, like everybody else is getting shot and everything like that, and not a single bad guy is like able to lay a hit. And it was really fun. It's cheesy, it's over the top, it's ridiculous, but it's so much fun in my opinion. I love the idea of how the terrorists get to all these people and kill all these world leaders. That was really interesting with like, well, I guess not really giving away, but faking the death of the British Prime Minister and all these dignitaries and like world leaders coming in, and that's when they strike and they kill off all these leaders and stuff. Of course, they're going after the president. That's kind of like they're mainly trying to get is the president of the United States. And Gerard Butler, well, he's not going to let that happen. So I loved it. I thought it was great. Get in a cheesy action sort of way. If you're going into this wanting a serious action film, go somewhere else. Do not watch this film. If you're going into this and just wanting a fun cheeseball, just off the rails, just goofy, over the top, but so much fun action movie, you're set. You're good to go, because that's exactly what it is. So again, you want serious, go somewhere else. You just want fun, cheesy action. London Has Fallen is one to check out. I'd recommend it. I thought it was a good watch, again, in a cheesy sort of way. But I like that sort of thing. I like a good cheesy, over the top action film. So I liked it. So all right, guys, there you go. That is it. That's everything that I've recently checked out. So. All right, I'm going to go. So, all right, guys, like I was saying, thank you guys so much for checking this video out. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Also, if you're not already subscribed, please do. I do a brand new daily video every single day. So hit that subscribe button, and you're going to get a new video every day. Also, if you want to grab yourself a Cinema Sickness t-shirt, hat, hoodies, tank tops, anything like that, head over to cinemasickness.spreadshirt.com where you can get yourself some of those. I appreciate that. And also, if you want to keep videos like this coming your way, head over to patreon.com/cinemasickness where you can become a patron, so your support, any tiny little bit helps and is very much greatly appreciated. Again, helps videos like this keep coming your way every single day. So, all right, that is it. Thanks for watching. Leave some comments below if you saw any of these movies. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So, always like discussing films with you guys. So, leave some comments. All right, that's it. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.